Hello everyone, Captain Bravo here with a deck mechanics video. Actually, this is a tutorial on Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters and summoning. With all the different types of summoning that have been released and different types of monsters, I thought it'd be helpful to make a little tutorial video, as I do see some people still having a bit of trouble with different types, and it never hurts to have a refresher course, even for the most veteran of players. So to begin with, the first type of summoning that you can do is the basic normal summon. For normal summoning, there are three different types that you can do. The either actual normal summon, a set, or tribute summon. For normal summoning, all you have to do is place a level 4 or lower monster on the field. That's it. For a set, you just set that level 4 or lower monster in defense position, face down. Now for tribute summoning, you need to actually send monsters from the field to the graveyard to summon this. For levels 1 through 4, you do not need any tribute. For levels 5 and 6, you need 1 tribute. For levels 7 through 10, you need 2 tributes, and I've recently been informed that you do need 3 tributes for levels 11 and 12. I believe originally it only applied to the god cards and things like that, but I was told by actually a judge recently that that's a ruling now. Now, different types that you can normal summon would be either a normal monster or an effect monster. Normal monsters have no special powers. They just have usually higher attack and defense to make up for no powers, and effect monsters have a certain effect that happens if you fulfill the conditions. For example, Aether, the Empowering Dragon here, when he's pendulum summoned, you can target one card in the field, return it to the hand. So if you pendulum summon, you have met the requirements, and then you can use his effect. Now pendulum summoning. This calls for a new type of monster, the pendulum monster. It's actually a combination between a monster and a spell. Now the cool things about this is pendulum monsters, they have these little numbers right here. Those are the scales. When you place 2 pendulum monsters in the pendulum zones, any level of monster between those scales you can special summon once per turn, as many as you like from either the extra deck or your hand. And the monsters from the extra deck, that's only if they're face-up pendulum monsters, because when these guys leave the field, they go to the extra deck. And this brings me into special summoning. Special summoning is a type of summoning that allows you to just place a monster in the field. It's not like normal summoning. You can't just do it like once per turn. You can special summon as many times as you want per turn. However, you need to fulfill the requirements. Like, say, pay 1,000 life points, you can summon this monster. Pendulum summoning. Discard 1 card, special summon, things like that. Now, the first type of extra deck monster ever released was the fusion monster, these purple cards here. They require a spell card to fusion summon using the fusion materials. For example, Rune-Eyes Pendulum Dragon needs a spellcaster and an Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Originally, the first spell to fuse was Polymerization. This lets you take monsters from your hand or the field, send them to the graveyard, and then special summon the fusion monster from the extra deck. There are lots of cards now that allow you to fusion summon, some depending on the deck you use. For example, there are certain spells which allow you to fusion summon Gem Knights, or Fright for monsters, or Elemental Heroes, things like that. The next type of summoning released was Synchro Summoning, these white cards. Now Synchro Summoning was cool because it made even low-level monsters important. Because to Synchro Summon, you need to take 1 monster that is a tuner monster. That would mean that right here, like where it says the type of monster and like effect or something, it would also say tuner right there. So you have to take that tuner monster and then 1 or more non-tuner monsters that exactly equal the level of the synchro monster you're trying to special summon. For this Meteor Burst, it'd be level 7. Now the Last type of extra deck monster that was released was the Yugioh summoning, the black cards. Now they're very special because they don't actually have levels, they have ranks. So certain cards like Burden of the Mighty and Gravity Bind do not affect them. Now what you got to do for them is to take monsters of the same level on the field. For sake of argument, let's say these are the same level. You stack them on top of each other, then place the Yugioh monster on top. And then you can detach these Yugioh material to activate certain effects. For example, for Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, you could detach an Yugioh material to negate an attack, and then special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your graveyard. Last type of summoning there is ritual summoning. This was also released around the same time as Fusion Monsters. They also require a spell to summon them. They're interesting, not used as much, but there have been entire decks devoted to them, like Gishki or Necros. Now, what you do for ritual summoning is you activate a certain spell for a certain monster, and then you send monsters equaling or exceeding the level indicated on the card. For example, for Zephyr the Mat, you need at least level 8. Then you send those from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then special summon the ritual monster from your hand. This summoning is not as popular because you need both the ritual spell and the ritual monster in your hand. And, of course, you're giving up a bunch of monsters. It's just not as fast, not as efficient. Although there have been fusion or ritual monsters released, for example, like Lord of Red. Of course, like Tarote now, Prediction Princess. They're not as bad, but it's still not as widely used. So that's summoning. I hope this was a nice refresher course for all you veteran players. And for all you new players, I hope this is very helpful as you try to build your decks and realize what you got to do to get your monsters in the field. This is Captain Bravo signing off. Remember, I do videos on Yu-Gi-Oh!, Buddy Fight, Vanguard, Force of Will, and Pokemon. So just let me know in the comments below or message me on Facebook what you want to see. See what I can do. Alright? See y'all later.